The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for the Diagnostic Trading Hour with your host, Darrell Martin. Now, Darrell Martin.
All right, folks, welcome on back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. I'm your host, Darrell Martin, right here on TFNN. Don't forget to listen anywhere online, TFNN.mobi, or watch us on Tiger TV over at TFNN.com, where you can see all the trader screens, charts, as they're walking through the markets every day. Markets, before I even get into the current market, what's going on? We got the Nasdaq shut down options. And then New York Stock Exchange shut down all NASDAQ-listed stocks as well. And it's a little interesting, a little quiet, a little freaky, right? And futures still ticking on there, so that adds even a more interesting dynamic. What do you do when, right? So look at this. This is Apple, middle of the day. Got nothing. No options moving, no Apple moving, right? So going over, you can check out a variety of stocks. And it's just quiet. So it's a little bit of a ghost town going on right there, but there still is a little bit of tick movement. And, like I said, over in the futures exchanges, so they're still going, but I don't know how much more they're going to keep going. They might even halt that eventually. We'll see. Okay, so that's where we're at right now. Like I said, but futures are still kicking along. And this is one more reason, by the way, why I like Nadex. All right? Crazy crap happens. Man, you can have the best computer in the world, the best internet connection in the world, and then the exchange can blow up, all right? So, just crap happens. So what are you going to do, all right? Nadex capture losses. What if you're in something and then all of a sudden it closes and it opens back up and you're down way more? No, you were doing great. You had stop-loss management in. It was all there. But then Apple opens down 15, 20, 50 points. Who knows? Okay? Margin call. All right? So, or losing way more than what you planned on, risky, etc. With Nadex, every trade is capped in your risk. So you go in and you can never lose more than what you put up to place the trade. It's not like doing a call or like an outright buying a call or buying a put. All right? In that sense. So every trade is capped, except for these options are still trading right now. And every exchange, NASDAQ, Nadex, NYSE, whatever, could all have their issues. But at least on one of them, your risk is always capped. And one of the cool things, I've even seen like limit moves on corn, but Nadex is still open. So you don't get stuck in a position. You can still get out of it, things like that. But anyway, so I'll keep an eye on that. Over in the Traders Den, we'll all keep an eye on it, I guess. We'll see what's going on and when it picks up. But until I start seeing some ticks, there's not a whole lot to watch. So right there, be careful is all I got to say. Even if you're trading futures right now, be careful. Okay. Right now we have the S&P up 13.5 points. The Russell is up 12.3. The Nasdaq up 27.5. We'll see what happens with that when the stocks open back up. We got the Dow open up 68. It's up 67 points right now on the day. We got oil up 46 cents. Natural gas is currently up 2.5% on the day. Okay, natural gas up 2.5% on the day. We got corn down 14 points, a 3% drop in corn. Soybeans down 6 points. That's about a 0.5% drop right there. Euro dollar basically flat on the day, up 2 pips. Aussie dollars up 57, pound dollars down 72. Dollar CAD is currently up 55 pips. A dollar franc up 11. Euro yen is currently right now trading up $1.19, almost a 1% move on the euro yen. We got US yen is currently up 86 pips, with gold is up 50 whole cents. So basically nothing going on. We got silver is up 0.5%. We got copper up a little over 0.5% right now as well. So that's where we're at on the market. So let's check out where things stand on the news. So going on over here and just looking at what we got, what news reports came out, coming out, etc., and what's coming on out that we can possibly take advantage of these moves that happen. So today is Thursday. There is nothing major. We have natural gas inventories, okay, obviously, so can be some big moves on that. We'll pull that one on up here in a second. But we also, looking at some other things, we have Jackson Holes going on. Who knows, maybe that's why they shut down, all right? So all the big finance guys are like, we should just, put everything on hiatus for a little bit while we talk. But Jackson Hole's going on, so watch out for any possible, flies across the screen, things coming up that, happens right there. And they'll come out, they'll talk to the press, and sometimes that can have a massive impact on the markets. But definitely would be flat right now on the markets. I'm looking at just getting out of NASDAQ, Dow, everything. So, but you want to have some stability in your trades. And when things like that happen, when something that is just off the wall happens, either get in there and have some fun with it and control your risk, or get out of the way. Let's see, it looks like customers can cancel their orders over on the NASDAQ exchange. NASDAQ says it's going to reopen after a 5-minute quote-only period. I don't even know what that means. SEC's monitoring it right now, so maybe here in the next 5 minutes we'll see something happening. But it's going to be interesting when that thing pops open, what is going to happen with the whole thing. So it looks like the futures say we're going down on that NASDAQ halt along with the bonds as well. But we'll see what happens when it reopens. I'm watching, right? It's one of the things you've got to pay attention to and see how it unfolds. But right now they're pushing up a little bit. They're sort of trying to do a little bit of a pullback right there. So, but I had a short on the Dow, and that short right over there, it just got hit. Got a little, not hit, but my trailing stop. Got hit on that, so made a little bit, but flat at the moment. And so we'll see. Okay, sorry, that's obviously just not your normal thing that you go through every day as you're watching the markets. So we also had Canada core retail sales come out. Let's go ahead, let's pull that chart up. We'll look on at the Canada core retail over here. And then we go to USD CAD. There we go. And had a nice little move. It's moving on up. Not all the way up to one deviation yet, but dollar CAD is working on it. So trying to get on up there. Let's look at where we're at right now, as I'm trying to simultaneously watch the markets and news feeds to see when this keeps, basically the result out of this thing. But I had a whole lot of noise, market noise, just flying up right there on the NASDAQ, by the way, on the futures on the NQ. So a lot of market noise pushing up on buy orders right there. I don't know if they're pushing it up so they can yank it down right when they open back up the stock exchange or not, though. So be careful. Okay, so looking over at the dollar CAD, we had the core retail sales. They came in at worse than expected. That'd be weak for the Canadian dollar. So it did sort of as expected in the sense of it flew on up on a negative report. The stuff I was looking at, the trading plan for Canada core retail sales, was a post-news directional trade. Okay, the report came out this morning at 8:30. So as we can see right here, here's 8:30, and we got the report. Boom, USD CAD does a little pop-up like it should. You look over at the fundamental economic forex factory, whatever you like to use, investing.com. Name your website, and pops on up, pulls on back. We got a nice directional long. So we go ahead, we take that long, got fundamentally, it's going to go long, it goes long. We get in the trade, and we're able to, get a nice ride out of the thing, and it's pushing up toward, like I said, the one deviation level right now. You at least would have got an easy 20 or 30 pips out of it, but you might even get more. We'll see if it keeps moving. But and then where would your stop be, by the way? Your stop would be like right here. See this bar right before the announcements come out? So put a stop right down here. Would have been here, down here. Let's see, we got 495, 490. Where you have your stop at. So we can plot that like right over here on just it's a real basic walkthrough. But it comes down, it does this pull back to where it was pre-news. Okay, so 8:25, boom, pops up. comes back down to pre-news. We wait for a break in that direction. We get it. And again, we expect the CAD to get weaker because it was negative core retail sales. So as that happens, it's moving on back up. And let's see here. What else do we have that might work out for us? Trying to see some pieces and put those together. There we go. But yeah, so that's basically what we got in USD CAD. All right, so let's go ahead. Sorry, I'm a little thrown off whenever something like that happens. It wouldn't be if I was just staring at the charts and trying to hit buttons, but whenever I'm trying to talk on the radio and look at abnormal new things, still there. They're talking about a 5-minute reopen, so be ready. I'm just waiting for this thing to pop back open. That's what I'm watching for. So, you know what? That gives me an idea. NASDAQ should go a little nuts, right, when they reopen. So, why don't we see if we can take advantage of some nuts activity using Nadex. So I'm going to log in over here. Okay. I'm going to pull up the scanner. May want to demo this one, guys. But I'm thinking we ought to get some interesting volatility if we have the exchange shut down and then reopen and all these orders exploding everywhere. So they're talking about how they'll let them cancel orders, but there's still going to be a lot of fear and everything in the market. And so let's go here. Let's look at this. Start putting some of these pieces together. And let's just look at NASDAQ. Focus on it. And what with the binaries? I do not like NASDAQ over on the spreads. Okay? So the way that it ticks, not a big fan of it over on Nadex on the spreads. Binaries, absolutely no issue whatsoever. And let me pull up a chart on NASDAQ. Get a couple things going. Put these pieces together. And who knows, maybe we'll have ourselves a little opportunity here. Okay? So let's pull up the NQ. There we go. It's doing a big pullback right now. In the midst of all this, I'm going to get one of my other screens where I'm just watching to wait for, Microsoft or Apple or whatever to start quoting again. Shrink that down just enough where I can see quotes popping back up on the screen. Just had this massive pullback right here, right to a 1 deviation, by the way, is where the NASDAQ is currently sitting. All right, when we come back, we're going to look at maybe doing a strangle over here. See if we can get one on cheap or not. Be back right after this break.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or Tiger TV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
McEwen Mining is a high-growth, mid-tier producer in the Americas with a market capitalization of $1 billion. Experienced mining executive Rob McEwen, as chairman, CEO, and president, owns 25% of the outstanding shares of McEwen Mining and has put in place an ambitious business plan with the goal of qualifying for inclusion in the S&P 500 by 2015. With $70 million in cash and liquid assets as of the end of 2012 and completely debt-free, McEwen Mining is poised for growth. Production in 2013 is forecasted to grow at 24%, reaching 130,000 gold equivalent ounces. And over the next 3 years, McEwen Mining projects that their production will increase to 290,000 gold equivalent ounces, almost a threefold increase from last year's totals. If you'd like to find out more about McEwen Mining, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE or TSX under the symbol MUX.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Darrell takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
All right, folks, we're coming back here to the Diagnostic Trading Hour. All right, so simple trade I'm looking at right now. Is just, NASDAQ looks like it's pulling down a little bit. Obviously a little crazy chop going on at the moment. So looking at selling like potentially a 3084 3 p.m. expiration. And for about $90. Not my usual trade, okay? But with what's going on, I could easily see this thing pulling back down once it does open up. And just, fear. Irrational fear, rational fear, whatever it is. Nevertheless, fear. And so, it's just a low-risk trade. And right now, I'm just going to go in. I'm just going to sell it, and I'm going to watch it. And versus doing an immediate stop at the. I mean, I'll put a buyback for 5, but just going to watch it and see what happens. Because with this market closing down like this and having, an hour and a half to go for it to move down to 3084, I don't think is an unrealistic thing. It's also right down to a 0.7 deviation level. So it's only $10. And, has a little bit of a logic behind it with the fundamental shock. This is a style trade, okay? So I do have actually a directional short on my screen as well. But just with what's going on, usually I'm not an out-of-the-money binary trader. But But unless I'm doing like straddle strangles on news, this is sort of like a news event because you don't know what's going to happen. But we'll keep an eye on that one and see. If you wanted to hedge it to the upside, let's say you think it's going to go back up, okay? You could also hedge it on the upside. You could buy like a $10 $30.99 on the trade, and that'd give you a total risk of $20, prop potential of 80 if either one expired in the money after you lost 10 on the other side. If you got out when it hit the strike, like right at 50, you basically net $30 on a $20 risk. So you could do either one if you think it's possibly going to go up. But right there, like this would be the $30.99, and but it's really a key. That this key, the key to this trade is will it actually? And I'm going to go ahead and throw it on, but will it actually open up before 3 o'clock? And then when it does, we should expect some pretty big volatility. That's my expectation. So I'm doing, I'm not just going crazy on the trade, but I think it's a trade worth doing. And right now, like I said, I'm still short on it. I put on a long just to, strangle it for fun. But I do have a short bias on the trade right now. So, okay, so check that out, and we'll follow that trade and see how that goes and look at it step by step. And how does this trade work? Lay that out. So we sold these contracts over here. We sold them for $90, a little less than $90 right there. And if the market were to expire at or below 30.84, then we would be profitable on the trade. Okay? So, now if you went ahead and you did the other side, you went long as well on the 30.99, like at $10, then you could be profitable if it went either direction, because who knows where the thing's going to go afterwards. But I would sort of expect it to go down, just based on that and all those orders being out there. First the option stopped, and then the stock stopped, and it just makes people nervous. So let's see if we can profit a little bit on that fear. And sounds a little harsh, but okay. So now let's go in. We only have I think we're gonna miss out on our gold trade today. So look at that. See, Nasdaq just causing all sorts of distractions, but I don't think we're gonna have anything over here that we can do. Probably had a trade, but just nothing sitting there right now. So. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Here coming up. And, nothing sitting in the bin. Gonna see if there's just anything. But nothing right there. Silver's done for the day, and gold's closing down. Market makers pulled the quotes in the last 2 minutes. So no premium collection today, but who knows? Maybe we'll bring it home on this low-risk short trade. The official trade would be the short trade of a short 30.84 contract, 3 p.m. expiration. And so now we're just waiting. And if anybody sees it open up, let me know. Post in the den, whatever. So I'm just watching the standard options and stock quotes to see when they turn off of their gray. So I got Thinkorswim over here just looking at it. We're just seeing nothing yet. All right, start there. We'll be right back after this break. We'll pick it back up, get back on track.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. With the stock market flirting with all-time highs and volatility back, now is the perfect time for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights. On Monday, June 24th, Tom O'Brien closed out all 5 open positions in his daily newsletter Market Insights, with all trades being profitable and ranging from a 2.23% gain all the way to more than an 11% gain in just one position, for an incredible 32.7% profit combined between the 5 trades. Let Tom O'Brien's years of market experience work for you. If you'd like to see for yourself what kind of trading newsletter Tom O'Brien delivers to his clients each morning, then now is a perfect time to sign up for a 2-week free trial to his daily newsletter, Market Insights. In a volatile market like we currently have, the potential for fast market moves like we've seen recently is a trader's dream. So don't wait any longer. Sign up for your 2-week free trial to Market Insights today at the front page of TFNN.com. Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com. Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
All right, folks, come on back here to the Diagnostics Trading Hour. So right now we got this trade on. We got this short trade on. We're watching the NASDAQ. It is pulled on back down. And we'll see if it keeps on going as everything's moving. But it's all getting really quiet, and it's sort of ticking back piece by piece. And, you know, like I said, unique trading day, to say the least. And somebody broke something, you know. Let's go ahead and look back over at our news. We'll get back on that. So that trade's in play. I'm just sort of letting that one ride out right now. I'm going to take profit at 5. And, you know, I may look at taking maybe half my profit probably on that because I did 10 contracts. So really small trade, you know, $100 of risk. Take like half my profit at 57. If I do that, then I've, you know, made a few 100% there. I've covered the risk on the other half. I can let it keep going. Okay? And let's see here. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Bring this chart back on line over here. And as it's just sort of, like I said, just oscillating around. But I can definitely see it easily pulling back down to that level. We just got to see it open back up. And if it doesn't, it was worth it. All right. Let's go ahead and check out the S&P. So on the S&P, where are we at right now? We got moved down to point up to 1 deviation, hit a perfect 1 deviation mark, came on back down to 0.7, and then moved back up to 1 deviation. So it's basically just a little bit of a swing trade going on right there. We'll see what happens with everything as it opens back up. But right now, it's just sort of oscillating in a range. Also, a good time if you're Nadex trader. Might be a good time to look at some potential butterflies. So keep your eye out for those as well. And let's go ahead. We'll look on over at we got the S&P, we got the NQ. Let's go check out the Dow. So on the Dow, I was looking at going short earlier on that. Then it is big pullback. Got out with a small profit on that trade, and but I will look for another short entry potentially to come up here in a bit. So keep my eyes open, and let's go look over at the Russell. And on the Russell, we got to move up also to a 1 deviation. It's sitting right there above a deviation, so it's pretty ecstatic at the moment. The market, really did take off right out of the gate. We got a solid half deviation move out of the gate over there on the Russell. And not a lot of movement there. Like right at the beginning of the European session, we started to get this little trail that started taking off right around 2 a.m. And that's really where the move happened overnight. And then we got another half deviation, like I said, first thing this morning. Once things, opened up. Now they're closed down, and the market can't figure out what it's going to do next. So let's go on over here. Let's look at our energies. We got oil up right now. And let me pull up the oil chart, that is. And oil is up. It's at half a deviation mark right now, so it's moved up half. It's really been doing some swing trading earlier in the morning and a little choppy. Oil's had a lot of chop going on lately, but hopefully you can look at the OIV that can help you out with identifying potential chop in the market. But I move on up to half deviation, on back down to settlement, on back up to half a deviation. And looks like NQ's pulling back down. We're watching. It's going. So, I love it. And let's go in. Let's see here. Let's check out our gold contracts. So over here on gold, we had gold move down to 0.7, bounced off that, on back up, 2.5, almost hit the 0.7 deviation level, not quite, couldn't break through, couldn't hold it. Came on back down to settlement, doing a whole lot of nothing right now, right there, basically ended where it ended yesterday on the settlement line. So sort of a net nothing on gold, but we did get a solid 1 deviation, beautiful, sort of powerful, up moves. You can see like right here, we had these big moves down, turn around, gave you a nice reversal trend right there, and then just pop, going in grabbing like 8 points, and then does a pullback, and then pop, 8 points, pop, 8, just over and over again. Some very powerful big moves in gold, and that'll be enough to, make you want to limit your risk when you see that it can move that far, that fast. Let's go ahead, let's check out the silver markets. On silver, it moved on down to a full deviation last night. It just went on down. It was a great nighttime silver trade session there. And then also had to go to those pop moves, but moved all the way back up to 0.7. So you're like 1.7 deviation move. That's a big move. And but I'm surprised we got that full deviation last night on silver. That's pretty rare. And let's check it out. Let's go a little bit deeper. We're going to go ahead and we're going to look over at corn. Corn, we know, has been moving quite a bit. And corn dropped on down. It moved on down to 0.5, then moved on down to 0.7, then moved on down to 1, and dropped on down to 1.5. So just an awesome move on corn. Great trend, and you got to actually get some of it. A lot of times corn will do this big move overnight. You can't even play with it. But today, you had plenty of time to hop in and join in the down trend happening over on the corn markets. Let's check out soybeans. Soybeans not quite as volatile, but nevertheless, some good moves. We got that move down to 1 deviation, and this is what I was talking about. A lot of times it'll happen in the morning, so overnight. So soybeans dropped down to half and then down to 1, like at 6 a.m. But then it did this big pullback, and by the time the pit session actually opened up, it was sort of done and just went into chop between half and settlement. Nevertheless, there was some nice movement, at least, in the soybeans market. And that wraps up our ags right there. And we got our indices under wraps. We got our energies. We got our U.S. indices, at least. Let's go ahead. Let's check out a couple other things. Let's look at our currencies. We had Aussie dollar. Remember, there was a lot of movement last night, so that could have added and helped out. And you see the Aussie dollar. Look at this, man. Got some great volatility. Moving on down after the close, like right into the close right there. then coming on down even further, got a solid move down to half a deviation right there on 8 o'clock. Decided to turn on a dime. So turned right around, right off that half deviation, moved straight on back up, perfect little trend right on to settlement, and then oscillated around for a while. Took its sweet time, and but finally decided to take it another level. And let me pull this up. Give me 1 second. I want to look at something on the screen to go into a little bit more for you. But it looks like I don't think we had. Yeah, I mean, it was just a CB leading index at 8 o'clock. So that really didn't cause any kind of major move. I mean, the report came out. I guess that's not a news pop, though. You would see a lot faster move. But CB leading index, it came in at negative 0.2, but there's not an expectation number. Okay, the last number was 0. So that was negative for the Aussie, but again, not just really a major news pop right there. China came in at 50.1 on their HSBC Flash Manufacturing PMI, so Purchasing Manager Index PMI. Okay, and what they do is they go in. If you want to know what PMIs are, there's a lot of these reports out. They do have quite a bit of an impact, and there's a couple versions of the report. There's the Flash and the Final. The Flash is the first one reported, so it has more impact. Okay, so you see Flash PMI versus Final PMI. And they go in and they interview a bunch of, let's see, on the Flash one for China, they interview 430 purchasing managers. And they ask them about business activity, conditions, employment, production, new orders, prices, deliveries, inventories. I mean, you name it. So that's the stuff they're diving into. And they ask them about what they feel about that. So sort of positive over there in China. That was at 9:45. So we go over here, 21:45. And still not really, I guess that's the 45. So like right there ended. That's when it came out. So that did cause a little bit of a pop right there on the Aussie. On that Flash Manufacturing PMI for China. So that basically is the only news reason I can see for that, because that's a big pop right there. I mean, that's 50 pips. So that'll be one to maybe add to our stat bank. It's a little bit off. Usually I'm not monitoring China reports for Australia, but I do know they do affect it. I just haven't went through and pulled all those stats yet. Anyway, so we see this moving on up over here. Let's go ahead. Let's check out a couple other things. We'll go ahead and look at the euro dollar. So on the euro dollar, we see it moving on down last night, 2.5, 0.7. Everything decided to go on down and then come on back up right there. So now it's back at settlement. It's like it's flat on the day. You did get a nice little uptrend move on the euro dollar this morning. Could have taken advantage of. You also got a nice downtrend pre-market there. Not much at all, just sort of some chop during the actual main European session and the morning session there. But finally it turned over as the European session was turning over. Euro fell on down. It had really no, trying to see here, we got what reports we have. Just news that moves that you need to be aware of. That's a German Flash Manufacturing PMI. That's what caused this little volatility right here. Sort of up, down, but it wasn't anything big. It was like 20 pips. And then we rolled into core retail sales, 830, and that sort of got things going right there. And then unemployment claims came in at 336,000. So for the United States here at 830, that obviously causes some volatility when that does come out. It's not a major impact except for when it's majorly off. That's not a lot more off, but it is negative. And what's sort of funny, I guess, is negative means what? Well, it means that QE may be delayed. So that's what people are trying to figure out. May delay that QE because bad unemployment claims could lead to bad unemployment rate, which could mean to delay in raising interest rates and delay in easing the quantitative easing. I don't know however you want to put that one. But and backing off the quantitative easing, scaling it down, rolling it out, whatever. So sometimes good news is bad news is good, depending on how the Fed decides to interfere with the markets. So anyways, even though we had that negative unemployment claims, the markets did do a nice little rally this morning. Let's go on. Let's look on over at our pound dollar. Just taking you around the world here. So on the pound dollar, we got to move on down here. Looking at it, moved all the way down to one deviation last night. Perfect on move all the way down. And I mean, when I say perfect, I mean because we just had this nice trend. Just down, 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 all the way down there. And then it is flat right there on the market. And just been bouncing. 0.71, 0.71, 0.71. So not a whole lot going left. Pound dollar's pretty cooked at the moment. So it'll be a good butterfly setup just with nothing going on right there. And it's one thing to look at when you're looking for trades. You can go through, you can scroll through trades like this and to sort of see, has it moved its deviation? Has it went into consolidation? That's how you could identify, when to do a butterfly trade. Just flipping through charts really fast. And having those deviation levels helps out. So we got pound dollar wrapped up. Let's go ahead and look into the dollar CAD. So on dollar CAD, looking on over here, dollar CAD, we had, like I said, I talked about this a little bit at the first of the show before we walked into, hey, by the way, Nasdaq shut down. We got core retail sales came in bad. And so that nailed the USD CAD. It flew on up. And still hasn't touched that one deviation. Really close. Close enough that you might want to consider it touched. I usually within 5 ticks, so we're actually within 4. The way I look at things, if it's I use like a 5-tick rule in a lot of things. And if it's within 5 ticks, I consider it at least touched. So I'm basically looking at about a 1 deviation move. Don't expect a whole lot more action from the dollar CAD today. Looking on over here. Let's check out the dollar franc. Dollar franc, what's going on? Dollar franc ran up last night. Went on up to a half deviation. First thing, like right out the gate, right around 8 o'clock, was already there. Did nothing through a good chunk of the European session. Flew up, hit the 1 deviation market in pre-US market hours there, and then turned around and fell down an entire deviation. So just some good volatility on dollar franc. A pair a lot of people ignore, but has some great moves, and it's not near as crazy a lot of times as like the euro pairs and stuff like that. Just look at these trends. It's really nice. So it has some great trends. A lot of people ignore it. They don't know what they're missing out on. So go back, maybe check out the dollar franc. Okay. Let's go in. Let's look at dollar yen. So dollar yen right there, we can see a move up to 1 deviation. Look at that. Again, another deviation day. So it's really helpful knowing how far you expect the market to move, because that's when you should expect it to chill or reverse. Okay? So it ought to go into chop. It ought to go into reversal 70% of the time. And so are there the days where, man, it'll just go to the moon? Yeah, but use caution. Be aware. And probably look for an entry more above it, bouncing off of it, than an entry like right below it to hop on in and trying to ride it through, a full deviation mark. Just like, on the Nasdaq. It ran up to 1 deviation. It is basically exhausted. So, and it may bust through it, but, is that something you want to count on it? Just keep going and going and going. So probably not. At least on a consistent day-to-day basis. So right now, Nasdaq still, it's down. It's moving back down still, but it's taking its sweet time. Everybody's trying to figure out if they're going to do anything or they're just going to walk away. So you can always flip this thing around and look at stuff, but we got till 3 o'clock on that trade, so we're going to give it some time and watch it. Let me see. I'll look at one of my feeds. It goes in. It gives pretty good updates on things. Bond yield continuing to rise. All right, well, hold on. Everybody is waiting nervously to see what's going to happen. I'm not. I'm like, come on, let's let it go. All right, we'll be right back in just a minute.
You've always taken the long view when it comes to investing, but what if there's an opportunity right under your nose? What if you could be more responsive to market trends to seek to boost your portfolio performance right now while seeking to reduce your overall risk? At Direction Funds, we connect investors with alternative strategies that seek to maximize their returns. Smart investors deserve smart alternatives. Find yours at directionfunds.com. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risk charges, and expenses of Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Funds. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact the Direction Funds at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Recently, Basil Chapman has had some outstanding trades in his newsletter, The Opening Call. Each morning by 9 a.m., Basil uploads his newsletter to the TFNN servers so that his subscribers can access his expert trading advice. Basil gives his take on the direction of key indices and updates any active trades that his subscribers are currently in. Just recently, Basil's subscribers closed out a short position in Chipotle Mexican Grill, CMG, for more than an $86 profit per share, over a 20% gain in just one position. If you'd like to try out Basil Chapman's newsletter, The Opening Call, then visit the front page at TFNN.com and click Trading Newsletters. There you'll find Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, where you can request a free sample copy. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, on TFNN.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, has helped subscribers for over 10 years navigate the high-risk world of exploring and producing gold companies. And now's a great time to sign up for a free month-long trial to see the kind of insight that Tom delivers for his subscribers on a weekly basis. Every Monday, Tom O'Brien issues a quick update on the metal market, giving you his take on the HUI, XAU, GLD, dollar, bonds, and much more. Tom follows Monday's update with a full gold report, which is delivered to subscribers Tuesday afternoon with detailed coverage of 24 separate gold or metal stocks, as well as another 10 to 15 stocks that he lets you know are on his potential watch list. Get your month-long free trial to the Gold Report today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Don't spend another year navigating the metal markets on your own. Act early in 2013 and make the most of your gold and metal market investments.
Join David White as he keeps you up to date on the latest tech stocks while he uses his Power Law Vector Indicator to identify the best trades. The Power Trading Hour, next on TFNN.
All right, so I was doing a little research in the break, and found out the last time the NASDAQ went down was like this, was in 1987, and it was due to a squirrel. Yes, that's right, it was due to a squirrel. Squirrel had found some power lines or something, and it says, let's see, I'll read this story to you. An adventurous squirrel touched off a power failure in Trumbull, Connecticut, that shut down the National Association of Securities Dealers automatic quotation service for 82 minutes yesterday. This was December 10th, 1987. A NASDAQ official estimate that the power failure might have kept slightly more than 20 million shares from being traded. Things have definitely changed since the stock market collapsed in October. Daily volume on the over-the-counter market has averaged about 130 million shares. Before October 19th, volume was almost 150 million shares. The breakdown was also felt at stock exchanges around the country on which options on over-the-counter issues are traded. Sort of like right now, the New York Stock Exchange has options traded that are quoted over on NASDAQ. That's why they shut those down. Power in the Trumbull area, where NASDAQ's main computer center is situated, was restored by the United Illuminating Company shortly after the squirrel lost its life and NASDAQ its power at 10:43 a.m. But a power surge that accompanied the utility's resumption of service disabled NASDAQ's entire mainframe computers and seriously damaged the electrical systems at the complex, making it impossible to use backup generators. So hopefully they've learned from that lesson, and they'll be able to get things back online sooner, and work on keeping the squirrels out. But anyways, I thought that might be an interesting why not share it with you story. And but they got all sorts of information in there. They're like, you can't give NASDAQ a black eye for this. I guess you can keep the squirrels out. But yeah, so we'll see what happened. I mean, obviously I'm not saying that's what happened on this one, but who knows? So market's halted by squirrel. So you definitely need to have some way to cap your risk, because you just never know what little pesky rodent out there may be trying to jack with your account. Okay? All right. Let's go ahead. Let's look at what we got right now on the markets, and a quick reminder for you of what's coming up here for our news for the rest of the week. Okay? We'll wrap that up before the show wraps up for the day. And what we got? Well, tomorrow we got Jackson Hole, day 2. We also have, let's see here, we got U.S. new home sales. So that's coming out at 10 o'clock. We got straddles. We got strangles. We got binary butterflies before the news, binary butterflies into the news. And probably the biggest market moving announcement this week, as far as at least the pound. We got a pound-dollar revised GDP coming out at 4:30 a.m. Okay? After market, we'll have crop progress and weekly weather and crop bulletin reports like we do each and every week over on the Crops there. All right, so quick wrap up. We got the S&P is up 16. Does not seem to be affected by the squirrels outage. We got the Russell up 16. We got the Nasdaq up 31 and the Dow up 88. Oil's up over $1 right now, and natural gas is up 2.4. We got corn is down 17, soybeans down 16, euro dollar up 10. Pips on the day, Aussie dollar up 45, pound dollar down 55, dollar CAD up 52, and dollar franc up 6. Euro yen is currently up $1.33, with pound yen up 84 cents, and US yen up 95. So a lot of weakness in the dollar on most pairs except for the pound dollar there. And looking on over at gold, we got strength on the dollar. What am I thinking? Dollar is king, right? And gold right there of $1.20, and then silver and copper up almost 0.5% right there. All right, y'all have a great day, safe day. Good luck in the markets, and it'll be interesting to see how this thing unfolds. See you tomorrow. Stay tuned. We have another great show coming up for you right after this.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.